A man spots a woman at a wedding and approaches her to offer her a drink, but the woman says that she doesn't drink. So the man points out that she's smoking, which is not any better. So the woman replies that she shouldn't do that either, but she doesn't care. The man points out that she's at least being a good bridesmaid because the only requirement is to fit into the dress. The woman says that she's a bridesmaid that was picked at the last minute. This is because the original 7th bridesmaid had broken her leg in a freak accident. The bride of course said that she intended to invite her earlier, but she knows the truth. The man wants to know more, so the woman tells him that she had a history with one of the other guests. The woman then says that she knows she's not one of the top 7 friends because it's quite possible that the bride was rejected by several other alternatives before inviting her. The man wants to make her feel better by saying that perhaps she was the only person the bride knew that would potentially fit into the dress. Then he says that alternatively, she's one of the closest friends of the bride, but the history she mentioned before prevented her from comfortably inviting her when the original 7th bridesmaid was taken up by the freak accident. It gave the bride the courage to revive the treasured relationship. But the woman doesn't think the same way because they were never all that close, even when they were close. In fact, the woman reveals that she hasn't spoken to the bride or any other of the guests for 10 years now. Some of the people there used to be her friends, but they aren't anymore. She then clarifies that these people used to be his ex-husband's friends, not hers. The man is intrigued as to why she attended the wedding then. The woman replies that she doesn't have a good reason other than curiosity. In the speakers, a man announces that Susie, the bride, is about to throw the bridal bouquet. The man tells the woman that she should go try to catch the bouquet, but the woman shows him that she actually got married 2 years ago. The man asks if her husband came with her, and she replies that he couldn't because it was on such short notice. Then she shares with him that her husband is a cardiologist, and they live in London. The woman asks if he's married. He says that he is not anymore and just has a girlfriend, and he plans on breaking up when it gets too serious. The woman knows his kind and wants to meet his girlfriend, but he says that she works on Saturday nights. Despite not knowing each other's name, they feel comfortable sharing their partners' names. The man's girlfriend is named Sarah, and the husband of the woman is named Jeff. But the woman feels disgusted when he mentions that Sarah is a 22-year-old. The woman wanted to know if he was flirting with her. She points out that they are probably the same age, so if a man her age prefers 23 on August 12th, might not flirt with someone who is 15 years past 23 on August 12th. Then the man mentions that he remembers the first time they saw each other. They were 19, and it was at a barbecue in Cape Cod. The woman believes that anyone can come up with some half-truths and make them sound real. But the man is convinced that he is speaking from memory. According to the man, she was reading a book, and he told her that the food was ready. And she replied that the food will wait, and then she waved him away, but he kissed her. Then a man approaches them saying that they must do their video testimonials. The woman struggles to give her speech. Then it's time for the man, and he simply congratulates his sister. The woman notices how he didn't mention the groom, which makes her believe that he's not fond of Dan. The man says that he just doesn't really know him much, but they're lawyers working on the same firm. The man asks the woman for a dance, and they go to the dance floor. After that they go grab a drink and the man confesses that for many years he thought he had seen her walking on the streets of New York, but now he knows that all that time she was living in London. The wedding is over, so the woman invites the man to her hotel room, but one of the bridesmaids gets into the elevator. The interaction is uncomfortable, but after she gets out, they go to the room. The man begins to strip out of his clothes. The woman says that he's fatter than he used to be. The man doesn't take it too badly, so they keep going. The woman takes off her dress and the man goes crazy kissing all her body until he sees a scar and stops to ask how it happened. The woman says that she was riding her bike and got into an accident, so she had to stay in the hospital for 6 months. He says that he would have wanted to know to be there, but she wanted to be alone. There was a time when they dated, and she was his, but now she is someone else's. In a desperate move, he asks if he were to tell her that he always loved her, would she leave Jeff? But the woman says that she wouldn't. Then she proceeds to get in bed and take off her underwear. The man joins her, but she's now thinking that this could be a mistake. But the thought of doing something wrong doesn't stop them. They make love to each other just the way they did several years ago. When they finish, they mention all the things that are different from the last time they did, but somehow that it's not exactly a bad thing. The woman's hair is now shorter. The man says that he liked it long. The comment makes the woman say that she bets that Sarah the dancer has long hair. The man says that she doesn't, but the woman wants proof of that. The man says that if he had her address, he could send her a photo of Sarah. The woman then says that if he doesn't have a photo of her with him, it means he doesn't love her. The man sees no point in showing her picture to anyone. The woman stands up and goes to the bathroom to light up a cigarette. In the meantime, the man waits outside. He listens to a message Jeff and his kids left. They're asking her to bring them something from her trip. The woman is now on the phone with Jeff, so the man stands up and purposely speaks loud to make Jeff hear him, but the woman plays it off as if he was someone from the hotel staff. The man is now thinking that if Jeff knew what they did, it would ruin things so much that she couldn't go back to London. But the woman says that even if they broke up, she would still go back because she has a job there, a dog, and a home. The man pretends to call Jeff, who is a cardiologist, and says that he wants an appointment because his heart has been broken. The woman wants to get back at him, so she pretends to call Sarah, but he couldn't care less if his relationship got ruined. Then the man asks what her ex-husband was like. The woman avoids giving details about him, but she says that she loved him. However, sometimes people who really love each other have the uncanny knack for making each other miserable. The man asks what about now? The woman replies that now she is happy. She repeats that to herself quite a few times, even though her eyes seem to reflect something else. But she says that she's so happy that sometimes she longs for a little misery. Because her ex-husband made her deliriously miserable. The man says that his ex-wife was a great friend. Then he confesses to having listened to Jeff's message because he was so intrigued to know what he sounded like, and that just made him hate Jeff a little bit more. However, the man was expecting that Jeff said something more passionate other than just saying that he misses her. He believes that the man that marries should be extraordinary. The woman laughs, but says that she's too old for extraordinary things. The man then begins to make her remember about that first time they saw each other. He tries to guess the book she was reading. He doesn't know why, but he kissed her on the mouth. The woman now asks for how long they were married and the man replies that it was for 6 months. She asks what happened then. The man replies that it was the end of summer, and they moved back to the city. But her husband was young, foolish and careless, and she was pregnant and ran away. She ran away as far as she could. She went to London, met a cardiologist and married him. The woman says that things are over, she kisses him and runs away. The man goes after her and they start fantasizing about how their lives could be like now. But the fantasy stops when the woman sees the time and runs to get in the shower while the man helps her pack her bags. The man sees the pictures of who he believes are the woman's kids, but they aren't, they're from Jeff's first marriage. The woman was supposed to return the dress, but since she doesn't have time for that, the man throws it out the window. Sarah calls and the woman picks up thinking it's her phone, so she explains that she's just a friend of his and tells the man that Sarah is meeting him for breakfast at the diner. The woman and the man kiss for the last time in the elevator, and after that, the woman gets inside the cab. She came because she hoped to see him, but once again their paths moved in different ways.